Uh, Hello, guys. Uh, Welcome back to this Oracle Identity Manager, Identity Federation, and Oracle Internet Directory installation series. So we are actually in the final step of installing the Identity Managers product, specifically the Identity Federation and Oracle Internet Directory. Okay, so probably if you guys have actually watched my series, the other videos, earlier, uh, probably you would have known that we have completed the database installation, and then we validated it, and then we loaded and the schemas using the repository creation ability, and then we installed the WebLogic and we configured the WebLogic as well, and now we are in the at the step of Oracle Identity Manager installation, right? So uh, as you can see my screen here, okay, so I've got this software downloaded already, okay, and if you guys have not actually seen my earlier videos, I would paste the description I would paste the link in the description box. You can just go and take a look into them, okay. So here I've got the software here. So basically the one thing I need to highlight here is that guys, like earlier I kind of installed the other installer, okay, uh, which is actually not required for this current series. Okay, so again, I have to re-download all the software, complete software from the Oracle delivery site. This is the one. Okay, it has already been zipped here. So if you just extract them, you will see disk 1 and 2 here. And if you extract that, if you just go inside the second one, you'll again see disk 3 and disk 4. So when we are installing it at one point of time, you get a wizard prompt asking you to select the disk 3 and disk 4 accordingly, so you may have to wait patiently, okay. And the other thing which I want like to let you know here before we start here is that see, I've got my JDK installed already in this particular location. If you go to see program files, Java here, it is the JDK I've copied here. But when you are installing this IDM's installer, when you are using this, initiating this installer, it would you would get an error message if you're not copying this JDK folder into this middleware home which we created earlier. Okay, so when I say when we created earlier, it gets created when we install the WebLogic, right? So this is the middleware home, and here I've copied this JDK part, and then you have to begin this installation step. Okay, so that's important note you guys have to take care of it. Okay, so here, as you can see, I've just navigated to the disk one, where you have the disk one for Oracle Identity Manager. Okay, um, so within the disk one is where you see the setup.exe folder, and I'm going to call this one with the command -jre location, and I'm just going to call or refer to this particular JDK within this middleware home directory. Okay, so that's an important note you have. So once we do this, you just wait for a while, a couple of seconds. The installer result should pop up as you can see here. Okay, so guys, also please be informed that I have already downloaded and I've already completed the installation steps just very recently. Okay, um, yesterday I kind of completed this installation steps. So there was one small step which got failed, which I'm going to talk about that. It is related to some EMH and configuration. Okay, so other than that, all the steps went through fine. So what I've done is, due to the interest of time, I've kind of quickly made through these document steps, capturing the steps here, as you can see here. See, this is the final step of 77%, and there is one step, on the top, which I'm going to show you. So all the other steps have been completed. Okay, so I kind of put this document, and I'm just going to quickly walk you guys through this, and because for me it took almost an hour and close to about hour and a half. Okay, so in the interest of time, I'm going to quickly, just run through these steps, and I'm not going to really, install because it's already been done. Okay, so that's a small thing about this. So let's begin this installation now. I'm going to just highlight all the steps here. So just click next here. Okay, now here the very second step, So as you can see, the version is 11.1.1.9.0. If you go back here and just want to quickly show you once again, okay, and just go to the next, and I'm going to skip the software updates option. So just select the radio button, click next, okay. Here, and I'm going to select install and configure option, but you have two options. Either you can install it now and then configure it later, or you can install and configure at the same time. So this is the one which I have done recently. So I'm going to just retain this same option here. Okay. And here it's going to do a quick check of the OS and the memory, how much it is needed and all that. Currently, I've got around 8 gig RAM allocated for this VM. So I'll show all this in a how the VM is configured and all that in a separate video. Okay. So I'm going to click next here. Okay. Now here, as you can see, you will see four different options here. Okay, here you'll see something like whether you want to create a new domain. As I mentioned yesterday, domain is something which you would come across in WebLogic. Okay, so right now my domain has already been created. Okay, so uh, just for this demo purpose, I can show you once again how to create a new domain. Okay, so then the other option is you can already use extend the existing domain, or you can also expand the cluster, which we are not going to cover in this video, and also configure with the domain. Okay, so I'm just going to select the first one, create a new domain. Okay, and here the WebLogic is the username, password. I'm going to do whatever I'm setting it here. Okay, so here I'm just going to give IDM domain. Okay. Maybe I'll just give a suffix 1 or 2, maybe just for reference. Okay. Uh, Domain name IDM domain 2. Okay. As I said, I'm not going to install it now. Just going to walk you through the steps. See, and here in this step, you're going to be seeing all the the middleware home location. Oracle is going to ask you to save these details somewhere. Okay, so you can just make a note of it. So the middleware location is C Oracle middleware, and the same way WebLogic server directory is Oracle middleware WL server blah blah and stuff. Okay, and there is also going to be an Oracle instance location. This is primarily for Oracle Internet Directory. Okay, so and I'm going to just give Oracle home directory as Oracle IDM2. Okay, all right. So the folder, the directory would be created here because as I have already created, as I mentioned. Okay, see, so this is the one. Yesterday I created with a suffix IDP just for my reference purpose. So if you want, I can also just give a suffix here. Okay, IDP, and then this is the IDP is for identity provider, primarily to differentiate the identity provider and service provider component of Oracle Internet, Oracle Identity Federation. Okay, and then the instance directory is the one gets created here. So since it is already we have this AS instance one, I'm just setting it as AS instance 2. Okay, ideally it should if it doesn't throw any error, it should, yeah. So here I'm just going to unselect this option. I do not want to receive any security updates. Okay, click yes. Next. See, this is the screen where you can actually see what are the different components that you wanted to primarily install here. Okay, so as I mentioned, this for this demo purpose, okay, we are primarily going to focus only on Oracle Internet Directory and Oracle Identity Federation. Okay, so there are two other products which you guys might be knowing related to. It's again part of the directory services product within Oracle. One is Oracle Virtual Directory and Oracle Directory Integration Platform. I'm going to unselect them, and then okay. So maybe I think yeah. So I've unselected them, and then Oracle Identity Federation. I'm just going to leave only this Oracle Identity Federation. Okay, and see by default the Enterprise Manager component of the WebLogic should be installed. Okay, that's why you see this option here. Okay. Now let's proceed now. Click next. Okay. Now you will see something related to port configuration. I'm just selecting it auto port configuration, leaving it as per the default. Okay, click next. Now this screen is very important for connecting to the the database schema which we have already set it up with respect to the repository creation utility. Okay, I believe in the second or third step you would have configured the loaded or created and loaded the schemas using the repository creation utility. So I'm just going to connect via the same string here. Okay. So basically what we can do is either I can just give local host or I can give my the machine name or the computer name. Okay, dot, uh, let's see whether it works this way. And then I'm going to give the port number with the global, with the, uh, Oracle database identifier, which is ORCL. Okay. Now I'm just going to give this and then give the same password. As you can see, by default, ODS is being selected here. It's grayed out, so it's already been picked here. Ideally, it should connect via the schema which we have already set it up or loaded. If it doesn't, yeah, see here you will just get a prompt saying like the ODA schema chosen is already being used by an existing OID. Hence, the new OID being configured would reuse the same schema. Choose yes to continue or no to use a different schema. You can proceed as per your option, as per your requirement. So just I'm going to select next. And now I see one more option here, which is please just a information message. Please ensure that the system time on this identity management node is synchronized with the time on other identity management nodes that are part of this Oracle application server. So this would be coming into picture whenever we are configuring the cluster or the failover configuration. Okay. Yeah. So just a warning message given by Oracle. And now I'm going to give the Oracle Internet Directory Administrator password. Okay. And now here we are given we are being asked to specify the details related to Oracle Identity Federation. Here you have been asked to provide the PKCS12 password and confirm the same password. So I'm just going to use the same password everywhere for them because this is just a demo. And then I'm going to just not make any change, just leave server ID as per the information that you see here. Okay, click next. Yeah, and then we are almost at the last but one option here. So this here you would be seeing what are the different authentication type that you can configure for an OIF. These are the advanced configuration for Oracle Identity Federation, whether you want to configure the user store, whether to use an LDAP or Federation store and all that. Okay, so you can just select them as per the options as per our requirement. Okay, so I'm just not going to change anything here. Just click next here. Okay, see now it just shows a summary page here. Okay, so these are the products that are being installed. All the products get selected, get installed, even the enterprise manager. But here at the configuration, if you remember, I've just selected only Internet Directory and Oracle Identity Federation. Okay, so I'm not going to click on install because it is already done. So now, as soon as you click install, right, it will just copy all the files. Okay, so this particular option, when you go to this installation progress, it took for approximately 25 to 30 minutes for me. Okay, so at this point of time, you have to ensure that you just need to wait for some time, and it will throw a prompt asking you to copy the files or probably point to the specific disk here, which I was mentioning earlier. So if you go here, you may have to select this particular directory or the disk 3, and then after a couple of seconds it would again prompt you to select the disk 4, so you may have to select it accordingly. I think this way it appears twice in this particular screen. Okay, when this installation is being uh, in progress. Okay, so you have to choose the appropriate disk 3 and 4 accordingly. So I think it prompts us twice each. Okay, so just ensure that. And after that, The last screen is the configuration progress screen. So this is where, for me, based on my current system environment, and the memory that I've allocated and the CPU, I don't know whether it is just a problem with my host machine or the, the host machine. It took approximately, close to about 20 to 25 minutes. So, or probably even 30 minutes, I would say. Okay, so even I came across some couple of error messages which are actually captured for your reference, guys. So you can just take a look. Okay, so once your configuration is all fine and perfect, right? Like as I said, there was only one particular option which got errored out. Like you would in the configuration screen, maybe you can just refer to this particular OIF tutorial, which is directly from Oracle. Okay, so this is the one which I've been following and all this while. Okay, to follow the different steps. So here, this is how it looks like. So it would prompt like it would show like the domain is being created and all that. So you can just expand the tree or the node, okay, as and when it progresses. So each and every step it would show it got completed or whether it got errored out and all that. So for me, a couple of times it errored out during applying EM templates and something related to GRF files and all that. So I have to reinstall the WebLogic, deinstall, uninstall, deinstall, reinstall the WebLogic and all that. Okay, but at the last step, which except for the one step, all the steps got completed for me successfully yesterday. So as you can see here, okay. In the same way, there will be a couple of progress steps, sequence of steps that would happen when it is configuring the identity manager products, as you can see. Okay, it should really show up 100%. If not, we may have to take a look. So finally, when it got errored out, I just took the screenshot. As you can see, it said like configuration is completed with errors. Exit the installer by clicking the cancel button, and you can actually read in the installer to retry the failed configuration. So which I did yesterday. So that's it about it. That's all about this step, guys. So you can just follow this steps and let me know if you have any comments. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you.